My power-tripping HOA president illegally built his massive luxury swimming pool on my property line, so I filled my half with concrete. I live in a quiet neighborhood managed by an incredibly arrogant HOA president named Robert. He treats the entire subdivision like his personal kingdom, issuing fines to neighbors for having the wrong color mailbox while constantly breaking the rules himself. I had to travel out of state for a month for a work contract. When I finally returned home and walked into my backyard, I was absolutely speechless. Robert had decided to upgrade his property while I was gone. He told me he had a construction crew dig out and install a massive custom luxury swimming pool. The problem? He didn't just build it near the property line. The entire deep end of his brand new pool extended a full 8 feet into my backyard. I marched over to his house with a copy of my property deed. Robert answered the door, looked at the papers, and just laughed in my face. He casually told me that my yard was too big anyway, and I wasn't even using that section of grass. He smugly crossed his arms and said, "The concrete is already set, the tiles are in, and the water is pumping. It cost me $90,000. I'm not tearing it up for a few feet of dirt. Take me to court if you want, but my lawyers will drag it out for years." Well, I didn't argue, and I definitely didn't hire an expensive lawyer to fight him in court. Instead, I hired a state-licensed surveyor. The surveyor came out and officially marked the exact property line with bright orange stakes and heavy neon string. The string went straight across the water, cutting off the entire deep end and the diving board. I took the stamped survey to the city zoning office and confirmed a beautiful legal fact. Anything permanently built on my side of the property line legally belongs to me, and I have the absolute right to modify or remove my property however I see fit without his permission. I made a few phone calls. I scheduled a special delivery for exactly 7 a.m. on a Saturday. Robert woke up to the deafening roar of heavy machinery. 2 massive industrial cement mixer trucks backed into my yard, beeping loudly. I stood exactly on the neon orange property line, holding a cup of coffee, and directed the crew. The workers positioned the heavy metal chutes right over the water. Before Robert could even figure out what was happening, they released the locks. Tons of thick, heavy, quick-drying concrete came pouring down, splashing directly into the deep end of Robert's luxury pool. They poured it steadily, filling the water up with gray sludge, stopping exactly at the orange property line. Robert ran out of his house in a bathrobe, screaming his lungs out, threatening to call the police for vandalism. I just smiled and took a sip of my coffee. The police did arrive. They looked at the mountain of wet concrete displacing the pool water, then looked at my stamped legal property survey. The officers calmly turned to Robert and explained that since the concrete was being poured strictly on my side of the documented property line, I was simply landscaping my yard. It was a civil matter, and they couldn't arrest me. The heavy concrete completely clogged and ruined his expensive underground filtration system within minutes, permanently destroying the structural integrity of the entire pool. To make it even more satisfying, the commotion brought out a city inspector. When the inspector realized Robert had built a massive aquatic structure over property lines without a single approved city permit, he hit Robert with a massive fine. Robert now has to pay a specialized demolition crew entirely out of his own pocket to jackhammer and remove the rest of the ruined, concrete-filled pool.